And there was a couple of different ones that were getting pretty good money. But I wasn't sure if it was the real deal.
Hey, what's up guys? This is Batman Jaybird Resell. We are in Montgomery today, visiting some family, but going to take the day, today is a Monday, and do some thrifting, see if we can find some cool stuff to buy cheap, resell online on eBay. And I've got my wife with me today. This is Casey. So hopefully we'll have some luck. We got to go by the post office first and drop off some packages that sold over the weekend, and we'll let you see what happens later. All right, first stop of the day, heading into Goodwill. This is one of 3 that we will be visiting today.
I told you I didn't have to choose these. You gotta have AAA. Oh, you got it. Okay. Go away.
You get a buggy. Oh, you're good. I'm just gonna step right here till you got yours.
Do you have a YouTube channel or something?
I do. Take a glance here at some of these shoes and purses. There's a pair of Chacos. I think I'm going to pass on those before heading into the side of the store that has the hard goods. That's usually where I like to start. Hey guys, what's up? So it's that time again. Shameless plug. I'd really appreciate it if you're still watching, or if you've been watching the videos. I've had a lot of people tune in that haven't subscribed. So if you will, hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, smash that notification bell, drop a comment if you will. I'd love to hear back from you. Tell me if I missed anything. Just, interact a little bit. I'd love to hear from those of you that are watching. So enjoy the rest of the video. So if you take a look, you can see there's quite a bit here on these shelves that is interesting. I wasn't familiar with some of the items. A lot of it just wasn't something that was good for resale, and I didn't look anything up that I was unfamiliar with because we had a lot of stocks that we wanted to make. So I tried to maximize, my efficiency and just focus on things that I knew I could grab quickly and make a good profit off of. You're good. Excuse me. I really enjoyed looking here in the household section with the dishes, the cookware, and small appliances. I find good value here usually. You see here looks like a steamer. It's got a Revere top, but I'm pretty sure that's not a Revere insert. Wasn't familiar with that, so just moved on. There were some interesting items here that I didn't know enough about to pull the trigger on, but I'm going to find a couple of items that I do take with me. Sure, excuse me. So I did find several pieces of vintage Revere wear. Now there were some pieces that were not as old, a couple that were not made in the USA, and some like this one had, the bottom where it would not set flat, so I left it behind. But there were some that were in very good shape that were older vintage Revere wear, which often sells for a more premium price. You can tell by both the markings and also by the handles. The handles on the older Revere wear has the screws in it. And so I did grab a few pieces of this. I still buy Revere wear. I don't know if the rest of you do. Give me a comment here. Let me know what you think about it. These were Rockwell Christmas Village pieces. One was broken, the other just not enough value, and so I passed on those. This Goodwill has a back room where you find the larger electronics, sporting goods, and luggage, some items like that. You see a New Wave oven there. I passed on it. There can be good value in those, especially if you part them out like Commonwealth Picker advises. But I looked at the golf clubs, not much going on there. The other items here, baseball bats, softball bats, nothing great, all very old or low dollar or damaged. And so not much back here really to pick up, though it's always interesting. You never know what you're going to find in the back of this particular store.
Go away. Come back here.
This is still got tags on it. I thought about getting it. To Talbot's 1X.
To where?
Yeah, I thought
How much
about
is it? $4.99. Is that $4.99 or $14.99?
No, that was $74.99. It's a blue tag, whatever blue tag.
Oh, okay.
is.
Well, that's why I was asking, babe.
But
It says ladies' blouses and sweaters are $3.99 unless
I don't think it's
marked.
And then this is rough one too. Looks like it was rough. I think it was the tiniest little grease spot.
No.
Spend very much time in the clothes here. I've got a ton of clothes that I need to list. I did take a look at the hats, and I passed on this. It's called Knuckleheads. I think it's like a skate brand. But I am going to find a really cool vintage Green Bay Packers hat. That was it for this stop. Not a total dud, but just almost. Yeah, I know.
So crooked.
All right, second stop of the day. Not much in the first one, was there?
No.
Probably shouldn't have got the things I bought.
All right, so Goodwill number 2 was a much better stop. We found a lot of really good items for resale in here. They had some good prices on some things. A few items were overpriced, as usual in Goodwill, where they think they have great value or maybe look them up and they just price them out of reach for, really even just your average person coming in the Goodwill, not just a reseller. That part still blows my mind. There was an action figure from the 90s that was still new in the box that they wanted $80 for, and there was a doll from Tales from the Crypt Keeper that was also from the 90s, and I think it was $120.
Yeah, it's old, ain't it?
I wonder if there's like a tail. It didn't have anything on the bottom.
Oh, well, generally. I mean, it ain't nothing to get us. Yeah, so it's kind of cool.
So my first big find in this store was some Jordans. There were 2 pair of these in a really good size. I think this was like an 11.5 or a 12. This is a Miami colorway. There was also one that would be more traditional to the Jordan 1s. I decided to pass on this particular pair. They did have these priced up at around $25, and the solds were not good on these. The sell-through rate was slow, and from what I could tell, I didn't really think I'd be able to move them very quickly for more than maybe $40 or $45. And so $25 in on them, I passed on those. But the other pair, these had a great sell-through rate, and the price on these for resale was much higher. I'm not sure exactly what I'll get for them, but I'm pretty sure to be over $100. I've got to get strings. I've got to do a little bit of cleaning and just some minor cosmetic stuff, but these were in really good shape. This next item you see here is a pair of Vask boots. This is definitely a Bolo item, but as you can see, the sole was completely coming off of one of these. Other than that, the uppers looked really great. I might could have used some shoe glue and repaired that, but I just don't like taking those chances. So I put those back and decided to leave them for someone else. Plus, they still had these things priced at like 30 bucks, even though the sole was coming off of them. I mean, come on, Goodwill, give us a break. So this is another really good shoe brand to be on the lookout for. These are HS Trask. I actually think I'll end up leaving these behind, but in general, this is a really good pickup. If they're cheap enough, they will go for easily 25 or 30 bucks, but often if it's the right style, they may even go upwards of 50 or 60 or higher. Nice pair of blazers here. I picked these up. I think they were 10 bucks. Should be a good sale. So I picked up these Air Maxes and I actually kept them with me for a little bit. Thought my wife might like them. They were a little bit too much for resale. This particular style didn't have the best sell-through or pricing on eBay, so I wound up putting those back. So I took a look at the jackets, and there were some really nice items here. Here was a Ralph Lauren, like an overcoat that was quilted. It was like a wool. Probably would have been a good pickup, but it's really big and bulky. And to be honest, I have so many coats right now, I just didn't want to pull the trigger on it. I didn't feel like, especially for the price, I think it was like $25. Thought there was enough meat left on it without getting a premium price for it. And then this was really cool. This was a vintage set of Honda, I guess like a snowsuit for like a snowmobile, and I think it was probably pretty valuable, but at the same time I just didn't really see much of a market for it on eBay. I did, however, decide to go ahead and pick up this jacket. This is a vintage made in USA Woolrich jacket. It just seemed really nice, and it's definitely union made. It is, again, pure virgin wool, and you don't see stuff like this real often, so I decided to grab it. The price was better on it. I can't remember if it was, I think it was like $7.99 or maybe $9.99, so I think I can make a good profit on that, maybe like 40 bucks or more. So this part of the store just has some shelves with just random items, kind of miscellaneous. I saw this crock for potpourri that was vintage.
Looks to me like it's just a pot.
Yeah.
It's a crock and then the...
Yeah.
Trying to figure out whether this is...
These are only 4 that are model 32 and 7 that are listed.
Is that new or old? Looks like it's dirty, don't it?
Doesn't matter.
It's used. If that was new, that'd be worth 70 bucks.
What, that right there?
Yeah, it's a filter for a 2021 Dodge diesel. Well, this, and they sell instantly.
Used 20. Yeah. Okay.
And it's $3, $4. So they sell already in a box.
The crock is in the buggy. That's my wife showing me the comps on this, and so $20 to $25. This is actually already sold. I sold it for 20 bucks. Like I said, I think we spent $4 on it. Not a huge profit, but fast seller and easy sell, easy profit. So we continued, just tons of stuff in this store. This is a really good one. I hope to go back to this particular location again soon when we're back down visiting family over the holidays. So we took a look at some of the glassware and dishes for just a moment. Didn't see anything that really stood out. The last item we're actually going to consider picking up is a set of shelf sitters. You'll see those in just a moment. These were shaped like spices. Each one of them was a different animal. They can actually have decent value, but you'll see them coming up here around the corner. The problem is a couple of these were damaged. They were chipped, and none of the ones that were still in good shape, the other two, were particularly rare. So had these been in perfect condition, I probably would have picked these up, but I think they were like $3 a piece. That also kind of detracted me. At $1 a piece, I might have got them anyway and sold them as a set.
All right, so last stop was decent. We're back on the road. The wife is getting a little hangry, so we're gonna have to stop and get a snack. But anyway, we're headed to a couple of more thrift stops before we get done for today, and hopefully we'll find some more good stuff. All right, so it was Crystal. Don't make fun. It's what it is. Pretty good though. We were hungry, so we just got a quick snack, split a meal, keep it cheap, keep moving, and as soon as my driver gets finished, we'll get back on the road and head on down to the next Goodwill stop. Or I think actually we're going to the Salvation Army first, and then maybe to a Goodwill before we finish up.
So heading into our last stop now. This is a Goodwill. The Salvation Army that we were going to check out had actually closed, and so of course we were not able to shop there. So this last Goodwill, however, is going to be really interesting. They have a lot of vintage items here, and we have one really crazy find near the end of the video that I hope you will stick around to see.
I gotta check the comps on this, but this is it's vintage Ralph Lauren red denim with corduroy. It's a really nice jacket. This doesn't make any sense what this thing is doing now. It's not sorting. I don't know what's going on with it. It won't sort. I think I'll hold on to it for a minute, just to make sure I don't run nowhere until I can figure it out.
So I'm not sure what was going on with the eBay app there, but I could not get the search results to sort to the red denim only. I was trying to choose color, and it was still showing every result. Initially, I had gotten a decent result, but I was wanting to narrow that further to make sure about the sold comps. But I just figured it being vintage and Ralph Lauren and made in USA, it was kind of a no-brainer pickup anyway. So I put it in the buggy, and I wound up buying the item.
Got a good idea what you're kind of looking for? That's what I meant. Like, you're good. Yeah, I heard you say that when I thought I might go look that up. So then you can just go into the rack. An ASU jacket. Look at that. Yeah. REI can sometimes be okay. Said REI can sometimes be okay. Puffer jackets are popular if it's a good brand, but it's got to be a good brand. Did you find something?
I was just looking at that morph board. It doesn't have any pieces of it.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't morph. Babe, you want me to take the buggy?
What?
Did you want me to take the buggy? You said yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this buggy, y'all, it was so annoying. The back right wheel was about to come apart. And in fact, before we made it out of the store, it actually did come apart and leave a big chunk laying in the aisle. It was like leaving behind a shopping cart gator for others to run over later. This was a really nice Pyrex, but it was just priced too high for resale. I did look it up and check it out, but I left it sitting on the shelf. Somebody else that collects Pyrex probably would love to add this to their collection for the price in the store. Just not good for a resale item for me.
Yeah, I saw.
Guys, sorry for all that plastic rattling, but I wanted to show you that little piece of the clip. This next thing I'm going to look at is a box of vacuum bags for Electrolux vacuum cleaners. There were actually several boxes of these that were brand new, and this turns out to be one of my better pickups at this particular Goodwill.
Oh, those are those little crosses I bet you can like scratch. Oh yeah, they are. They're the little coin scratch ones. You can like draw on them and it makes like, I think I did that. I think they had them one year at they did them in Sunday school at our church.
That's cool. Put them in the buggy. Put those in the buggy.
What vacuum cleaners are they for?
Electrolux.
Huh?
Electrolux.
There's 2 boxes of them.
Oh, so is this the same thing? There's no barcode, is there? That one didn't either. I had to look it up.
Style C.
I mean, a box of 24 is like $26. And they got a good sell through, so I think that's a no-brainer.
This one's open, but you got these that are the Eureka ones. Dust bags. This is a genuine Eureka product.
Put these on the logo. These are dust bags too, all of. Yes. Very well. So there's 5 of these listed. Two sold. These aren't so great.
Oh, look, my window switch.
Is that the little thing that the controller goes in?
I don't know. I'm not really sure. These 2?
Yeah. Just like the ones I got already.
Numbers. Style R. They're different styles.
So that one's a different style. The others
Yeah,
weren't.
style R.
You need some of them. There's some of these no-tie laces.
Lots of ribbons. Huh?
These no-tie laces.
Yeah.
It's kind of neat. Ooh, it's not working here.
course, I had to check out the Christmas items before leaving the store. They had some really cool stuff. They did have some vintage items. These were some of the large colored bulbs, but they were pretty bad scratched up, even though they were new in the package. Maybe I should have still got them. They do sell, but again, I was kind of worried about listing them. There were 3 or 4 packs because all of them were scratched and some pretty badly. So I decided to pass on them. So I did find a really cool Hallmark ornament here. This had 1977 on top of it. It's a carousel. The sell-through rate was, I think we could probably sell it, but we might end up hanging on to this one. We do collect Hallmark ornaments, and we usually put up 2 trees at Christmas time, and one of the trees we decorate in nothing but Hallmark ornaments. So anytime we find one that we really like, that's unique, different from other things that we have, we tend to pick it up and just hold on to it. This next item that you're going to see me pick up is a really cool vintage box of the red silk or satin balls. These are dated 1967, so they are very much vintage. They don't have an enormous value, but they do resell pretty decent around Christmas time. I'll price mine really competitive. They only wanted a couple of bucks for these and try to get them moved out over the holiday. So I thought this was a pretty cool idea. They had taken old Christmas popcorn tins and filled them with a variety of loose ornaments. Some of them were vintage. You see the McDonald's box there from The Little Mermaid. Those are original release in the box, which I thought were pretty cool, but after I looked them up, they're not as, uncommon as you might think. Like most things from McDonald's, there's just too many of them. And I didn't want them for myself, but these still were really cool. There were some nice vintage ornaments, but nothing that I seen that was valuable enough to justify the price of the entire tin. So while I'm busy looking at all this Christmas stuff, my wife is still looking through clothing. Once I get finished with this, I head over to where she's at, and she turns to me and shows me a jacket that will absolutely blow your mind. I didn't expect this. It's the first time for me to find something like this in the wild, but just take a look.
Look at this one and tell me what you think about that. I think it's $24.99.
I think it's $24.99, or is it $24.99?
It's $24.99, I think.
I don't know.
I wasn't sure about the type because I looked it up, and there was a couple of different ones that were getting pretty good money, but I wasn't sure if it's the real deal.
We'll just have to look it up. Try to research it a little bit.
What is that?
The biggie?
Oh yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
I don't know. So I never found one before, so.
All right, guys. Hey, so what a video, man. It was a great trip. Awesome find here at the end. I've still got to do some more research on this. The whole issue for us on that particular item is trying to be careful about not listing anything that's counterfeit. And so, we have done more research on this item. I had already watched several videos in the past regarding Levi's, but I've never had to try to determine if something was genuine or not out in the wild, as far as something that had this much age, a big E. But from what I could gather on the spot, I do believe this is authentic. I do plan on releasing a follow-up video where we will dive deeper into this particular item and just vintage Levi's in general, talk a little bit about the background with the labeling of Levi's, the care tags, the little E versus the big E, and how all that helps us to date the products, and also how to maybe be a little better at spotting something that is faked versus something that is authentic, because vintage Levi's, because of their value, often do get faked quite a bit. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. We had a blast. This was a terrific trip. Man, it was just so many cool items, a lot of vintage. We've had better days, but at the same time, we've had some that really just were terrible. But this was pretty cool. So guys, I appreciate everything you do for us. I appreciate all of you that are watching. And as always, guys, y'all take care. God bless you. I love you. God loves you. And guys, we'll see you on the next one.